Every Friday, people across the country put on red for one reason: to honor the women and men who left the comfort of home so we can live freely. These shirts are not about politics. They are not about a war. They are not about religion. They are about gratitude. They are about respect. They are about remembering everyone deployed. When you purchase one, you help us launch the Come Together Compass, a program built to guide families and heroes to the support that they need. Wear your pride, wear your gratitude. Support Red Friday. Remember everyone deployed. Every car that rolls into your shop is more than just repair. It's someone's lifeline. Now, what if every repair could also be a lifeline for someone in need? When you join Community Pay It Forward, a portion of each job can help a family, veteran, or nonprofit without costing your customer anything extra. With the Shop, Click, and Pick program, your shop keeps cars running. Let's keep communities running too. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. This wall took 2,500 years to build. We don't have that long. That's why your support means so much. Please donate or volunteer and join the Community Partner Honor Wall, because community takes us all. So please join us today.
Born into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here? Took a hold of her life, left at night, stepping out of her fear. Bring me home, out alone.
It's about time he got off his butt and gave us a new intro, right? Well, there it is. I did it. I've been kind of busy on all this stuff. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Wednesday, which means community impact. We have Lynnsday starting today. I'm so excited about this. Lynn is one of our favorite people in the world. She's a great partner, and we have a lot of fun with this program on this day. So if you are out there and you want a free reading, all you have to do is type it in the chat. You type it in the chat, Lynn will answer it for you. So she'll be joining us in just a minute. Hey, we have we need your help, and the Come Together Compass is on its way. And we had some amazing information that came out today when I was talking to the team at Arizona State University. They were showing me some of the stuff that they had going on. The chatbot is fantastic. It's got it's already the chatbot is now sitting to where there are certain situations where it'll take and go to, and certain keywords within that situation that will immediately start escalating to ask if you need help, or getting people to something like breathing exercises or journaling or whatever it is. that the person would like to do. There's different kind of breathing exercises that they're talking about. It's talking about, can we, are you happier talking to a person in office? Or are you okay doing it online? I mean, it's really amazing what these students are doing, and I appreciate Arizona State University and all that they're doing. And we're getting close, but we need your support. Please scan this QR code. Every dollar you donate, okay, every dollar you donate, your name, you will get one space on the wheel of giving. As soon as we raise at least $150, we're going to draw for a couple things. We're going to draw for a blanket, a very, very comfortable blanket from Dignified Dementia, and from Erin Anatovi, her book, If and Then, and a hand-painted, and this is really cool, and it kind of fits in with what we're doing today. It's a hand-painted magic wand. Erin Anatovi is very, very much into this dream, spiritual fairies and stuff like that, and she loves painting these magic wands and crafting these magic wands. And so she does that, and they are really cool. Each one is personal. Each one is done on its own. So yours is not going to look like anybody else's. So please, if you can, support us, and let's get the Come Together Compass running.
Today, I want to shine a light on an organization doing truly beautiful work, Dignified Dementia. Their mission is simple, powerful, and deeply needed. They help families navigate the challenges of dementia with dignity, compassion, and real-world support. They understand that dementia doesn't just affect one person, it affects entire families, and they step in with resources, education, and comfort to make sure no one walks that journey alone. And in the spirit of comfort, connection, and care, Dignified Dementia has donated something incredibly special to support the Come Together Compass, a beautifully stitched, fur-lined blanket. This blanket isn't just warm, it represents the comfort we all deserve. It represents the support we all need, and it represents the kindness that keeps our community strong. Every dollar donated gets your name on the wheel of giving. $1, one spot. $5, 5 spots. Every donation helps us continue building the Come Together Compass, a system designed to guide families, veterans, and neighbors to the help they need when they need it most. And yes, one lucky supporter is going home with this incredible blanket from Dignified Dementia. This event runs through April 1st, and every contribution brings us one step closer to making sure no one faces crisis alone. Dignified Dementia stepped up with comfort. Now we're asking you to step up with support. Together, we can build a community where compassion isn't just a word, it's an action. And the Come Together Compass makes that possible.
It's kind of funny. I've been sitting here for 2 minutes, I guess, since that video started, holding this. And like I said, you can see the real detail in this. It is a fleece-lined blanket. It's very beautiful, very, very soft. And if you're looking for somebody who is maybe starting to show signs of dementia, it is one of those things that'll truly add a little bit of comfort to their life. So please help us by donating. It's very simple. $1, one space on the wheel of giving. We're also getting different prizes that we're adding to it. So our hope is that we're going to be able to give away a bunch of things to a bunch of people, and make you happy and get the Come Together Compass launched. The Come Together Compass is going to be something, it's going to be the most important website ever built because it's going to be there to help everyone. So, well, that's enough of that. That's enough of the business stuff. It's time to have a little bit of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Lynnsday. Here is our dear friend, Lynn Sobulski. How are you doing?
Hi, Zach. Hi, everybody. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Like I said, I was holding that blanket for about 2 minutes. I was thinking about pulling it out of the package and maybe, but then I knew I'd fall asleep and, that spot would have ended and I would have been sitting here snoring. Probably not a good sign. So, but it
Yeah,
is.
we could be talking about you while you're asleep.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah. Wow, look at his nostril flare
holiday
like that. So, yeah, but well, Lynn, let's you and I had an interview just the other day, and I think I'm going to replay that interview later on this evening, to where it was just you and I talking serious. Not that we don't talk serious here, but it was you and I talking about the things that we don't usually get to talk about. And it was funny that you and I were talking about these things, and then the next the next day somebody asked about, the what do you do if somebody, if you get a bad reading on somebody. For those who didn't see that, can you go on ahead and let them, let's explain that. What do you do if you're in a situation, and if you're in a party situation, and the cards are just uncomfortable, and you get somebody, and you're like, ooh, I don't want to, this, we're trying to have fun here. I don't think I want to take and tell them this.
right. I mean, the options are limited. You can kind of, navigate the situation with some grace, but that party situation, that classic situation of you're at a party and somebody throws three cards and everyone's standing around and looking, first of all, that is the risk that you take when you have a tarot reading and when you get one in public, and you just hope that your reader can kind of protect your privacy. So, um, depending on the content there, sometimes it's something that is so well known to that person that I can just throw out a couple hints and they know. And I know that they know, and it can say, okay, that thing that we're talking about that kind of has this flavor, and you can continue the conversation that way. If, and we've mentioned this before, if the cards are just saying something really, dangerous or sad or traumatic, or just something that you wouldn't want to talk about. First of all, tarot is not a science, it's an
Yeah.
intuitive art. And so I'm always concerned with how is this person leaving this reading? Hopefully, at least as good as when they showed up, maybe a little better, but I definitely don't want it to be worse. Um, when I'm doing that reading, there's all sorts of information that potentially you could be, looking for or channeling. I try to focus on what will be helpful to that person if and when this thing occurs. Are there resources they can go to? Are there people that can be support systems? Are there things that they should or shouldn't do right now that will have an impact later? But I guess the important thing to remember anytime we're talking about how do we know the future, how do we, sort of predict among certain outcomes which ones are more likely, how do we navigate intuition? The thing to remember is that the knowledge itself isn't necessarily what helps a person in the future. It's how to navigate a situation and how have they prepared. And so, there's nothing wrong with preparing someone for, a future that is negative that never happens. You know, if I say to you, like, hey, Zach, try to bank $6,000 and you don't ever need that $6,000 or something, like, no harm, no foul. Hopefully, hopefully you didn't take out like five side gigs and like mortgage your house.
Yeah.
And that's where we talk about money and we say, hey, I'm just a stranger with a deck of cards with some pictures. Pay attention to your life. If what I say in the reading starts to show up or starts to resonate in other areas, take it under consideration, but also don't approach something like divination, like religion, like therapy. Don't just hand yourself over to somebody and say, I give myself fully and completely over, and whatever happens, happens. Retain the control of your life and your intellect. And there is a way to look at these things with common sense.
I one of the other things is that this is something that if somebody's coming at this and looking at this and thinking about it as, well, this is like what I see in the movies. That's ridiculous. I remember watching, I think the movie was called Tarot. And the only reason I watched this movie, Lynn, was because I like watching stupid movies.
Yeah.
But this was one of those movies that was so stupid, I couldn't finish it. Everyone who had a tarot card, that tarot card is the way that they died. And it was like, oh my God, really? So, but that is one of the things that you've really got to take in, and you got to understand this isn't a movie. This is like you said, this isn't science. It's a reading, and you know it's almost like a learning experience, isn't it?
For sure, for
Or a
sure.
teaching experience even.
I mean, it's both. Every time I do a reading, there is some new association with these cards. There's something new that someone picks up on or that resonates with somebody. So it's constantly, developing those connections. And I think it's funny because I think I know exactly what movie you're talking about. And when somebody knows that you're into something, they're like, hey, I saw this movie. Did you see this movie? And like, I would love to be able to connect over something like that. But you're right. Things get so sensationalized. And I mean, that's entertainment. So even to your point about, going to parties and getting tarot readings, that is part of the entertainment. Part of the entertainment is walking up to the table and saying, "Ooh, what's going to happen?" Um, and again, there are ways we can kind of massage the situation if something sensitive comes up. But we are all human beings. We are all curious minded, and we're coming to this without knowing the answers. And that's part of the, fun and mystery of life.
Well, hey everybody, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you want to learn about, if you want to get a reading by Lynn, and if you want that to become a donation to someone who really needs your help, this QR code that's like right above my head, geez, it's really close to me now. It's like I've almost got to touch my face to do it. But this QR code right here will take you to her page, and you have a chance to hire Lynn. Have if you're in the New York area, have her come to your place, have a party, invite her to your party, and have a lot of fun. Christine, just to let you know, I just put the link in the chat, so hopefully you can find it, and that's how you can join us. But I'm going to be a little bit of selfish right now, and I'm going to ask you. Oh, first off, let's see him. What talked to you today?
I have two decks that talked to me today. One is a new deck that I've been working with called the Cosmic Garden Tarot. Um, I'm just really enjoying getting to know this deck. It feels like a good season for it. The other one that asked to come out last night and tonight is this new Angel Tarot that that I got from a very good friend of ours who happens to be one of the community Pay It Forward
Yeah.
family people. And, it's funny how we can have certain decks and tools that like we don't resonate with and we're just like, I've been trying and it's not really talking to me. And boy, for some other person, it's just, exactly the right connection. And it's like that with cards and rocks and you name it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it is funny that during our meeting, in our mastermind, somebody brought up angels, and you just knew that you were going to see that deck tonight. So it was really funny. So here we go, Lynn. I'm going to ask you for a reading from me,
Okay.
and here in 7 weeks, approximately 7 weeks, I'm going to have my neck worked on again. Is this finally the time that they get it right?
I hope so.
Oh, you, sister, you're not the only one.
All right, I have four cards that jumped out to talk to you. Two are upright and two are reversed. So I would say, even just in terms of pulling in the energy for the outcome you want, you're like halfway there. So the first one that is coming up is a reversed Five of Wands. I love this for you, Zach, because the Five of Wands is a card that talks about conflict and like petty conflict that drives you up the wall. And this is reversed. And so this would imply, for example, if you had, conflicting opinions on what you should be doing, this kind of says everyone's going to be on the same page. Or if you had, people with conflicting ways of approaching things, this is everyone kind of, coordinating better. So this is good in terms of just you're not going to have to do the cat herding and the managing of the people. They're going to get themselves together and be adults. We also have the Four of Pentacles. Um, when you and I talked earlier, we talked about like, having to put things down and take the break and
Yeah.
just how that feels. So the Four of Pentacles, Pentacles is money, and Four of Pentacles talks about risk and reward. Four of Pentacles is somebody who has either money or access to a chunk of money or a line of credit or something like that, and they have to make a decision about how to invest it and whether that investment is worth something. And the fact that this is sneaking in during our reading about this surgery says while you're convalescing, while you're recovering, there's going to be some sort of idea about an investment um, that's going to be your brain candy for that moment. So, like, don't worry about not having a thing to focus on or think about. There's going to be something there. And, the four is it's a number of stability. And so this is like a long-term investment. This is something that you would do and it would pay off over the future. And I think, um, what I'm pulling from this reading isn't necessarily thinking about the who, but thinking about the how. I feel like the people are already in place, or they're just waiting in the wings as soon as you decide to move forward with this. But it's about what the strategy is. You are pulling a reversed magician. Um, this is saying to you, Zach, you are a highly competent person. You can work the magic when you need to, but you're not actually a magic person. You need to rely on other people sometimes to bring in some critical pieces. And so, if they say, take the medication, do this exercise, whatever it is, however ridiculous it seems, give it a shot, just entertain it. But keep in mind that you're not in this alone and it's not fully on you to know what to do, to know how to do it, to choose the best path. Part of the process is trusting the people around you and the events that are unfolding as they do. finally, we are pulling, before I get to my angel card, we're pulling the Hermit, which speaks directly to this idea of taking time off and pulling away from people and activities and having this time to just kind of sit and reflect. Um, it's part of the healing process. And I will mention as like a side note the neck, that's your throat chakra, and this is all communication, your communication with yourself and your thoughts, and then what you speak to others about. And so the fact that you're getting this time to like sit and reflect instead of speak is saying your messaging is going to change based on this experience. So if you're getting what feels like a forced timeout and period of silence, it's not the universe saying, Zach, shut up, we don't want to hear what you, it's what it's really saying is, hey, Zach, it's time to listen because you're going to be changing what you're saying, and those messages and those ideas need some time to like sink in and take root within yourself so that when they come out of your mouth, there's an authenticity there. The angel card that you have pulled um, is the angel Jophiel, and it has the word ego on it, which I think speaks to that reverse.
No.
And, this false sense of entrapment, potentially fear based thoughts. Don't be afraid when you feel the fear. What the fear really is the ego trying to like pull you out of the spiritual space.
Wow. Wow. So I know that when you were talking about the that I need to listen to people, that's something that Adrian tells me all the time. Yeah, and I've never had a surgery since we've been together, but I've been the guy that I had my ankle completely reconstructed. I mean, it was completely reconstructed. And I started walking on my ankle 2 weeks after that surgery.
Mm.
And I was not supposed to put any weight on that ankle for up to 4 months. And I was walking on it after 2 weeks. So, one of the first things that Adrian told me is that, well, you know what? You're going to listen to me or I'm going to hurt you even worse. And I was like,
That's
hmm,
probably true.
okay. Well, that I get it. So, but I do thank you very much for that. So, hey everybody, please use your chat, ask a question. We've got Lynn here. It's all you got to do is type in a question, and Lynn will read for you. So, um, Lynn, how do you stop and keep your positivity and how do you keep your own mental health?
It is constant daily work. I Mental health is so important, and I think people sometimes feel like focusing on their mental health is selfish. Like, oh, I'm just thinking about myself all the time. I'm just analyzing
Yeah.
my thoughts all the time. Me, my. Um, but I think it's really important. So, how do I maintain positivity? Um, this will sound maybe cliche or cheesy. I try to put love first. Like that is just the most basic feeling, the most basic emotion, the most basic good thing that we can offer each other in any form. And so if it's a thought that I'm having about myself, is that a loving thought or is it not a loving thought? If it's a thought I'm having towards someone else or toward a situation. Um, so that's one way. Um, the other way is knowing when to get help. I am a enthusiastic advocate of things like talk therapy, energy therapy, pharmaceutical drugs, medical marijuana,
Yeah.
any of these things in any combination, like we are here on this earth alive at this moment and we have access to these things. And my parents didn't, and my grandparents didn't, and my great great grandparents didn't. But I know that all of those people like busted their ass so that I could be here today. And I'm positive that their hope for me would be to have a happy life, to the fullest extent that I can live it. And if it means taking the help that is available, then I should take it and worry later about, well, do I need to take this prescription drug forever? Do I need, another couple months or years of therapy? Is it time to change this habit? That's all part of being open minded too. And, every healing journey is different. And we come into all of these journeys as different people. Christine, who I think may be with us at some point this evening, she did a great blog about love and she came up with an acronym that said, let others venture and evolve.
Wow. Wow.
I-
Um, yeah, I think one of the things that you said that was really, really important right there is you have to know what works for you. You were listing off all those things. Is it medications? Is it, talk therapy? You have to be aware of everything that's out there for you to, make an educated decision. You can't ever just guess. So, yeah, Christine says thank you. So, um, I know that. Hey, Christine, do me a favor. Can you please put the link to your blog in the chat so I can share that with everyone? But um, yeah, I really do think that it's so important. That's one of the reasons why I think talking is so important, because that way we can share the experiences that we've had doing certain things. I don't believe that we can tell somebody what they should do. I don't think we're educated enough to where we can tell somebody that that's what they should do. I think we can say, this is what I did and this is what happened.
I think
But
you're right. I think, the idea that we can tell anyone what they will or won't experience with something, that profound. I mean, think about like a restaurant recommendation. Like, I would be hard pressed to say, hey, here's a restaurant you should enjoy. Maybe I think they make a great pizza and you think their pizza is lousy. And then 2 months later, you have their, like, I don't know, a calzone or something, you're like, wow, this is the best thing. It's all hit or miss. And especially when you factor in, any of those things that involve people, a tarot reader, a therapist, a yoga instructor, a physical therapist, anytime you're working with another human being, you have to have the right solution and the right expertise and resonate with the person that you're working with. It's incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to separate the giver from the gift. And if somebody rubs you the wrong way, then it's really hard to say, "Oh, hey, but we had that great conversation." It kind of has to match up.
yeah, yeah, I completely agree. Looks like we've got Alan checking in as well. But our next question is from our host next week, which you are going to be on her show along with the great Mr. Z. So we're going to have a fun show next week. I'll take a reading on how others will take more responsibility for their part in relationships, the collective others in my life.
Do I get to be the smart ass right here?
Sure. I think people would enjoy somebody else being the smartass for a
Aviva,
change.
sweetheart.
If you want to draw some pictures, also, we'll take them.
Aviva, new friends, honey. New friends. My circle is tiny, tiny, tiny because of that. Tiny. Yep. Yep.
Oof. Aviva, I don't know what your deal is. We laugh about this, that every time we do a reading and you have a very specific question, and then I ask that very specific question, the universe comes in and really wants to talk about finance also. So I have an assortment of cards that came out here, but the first one is a Page of Pentacles, which is saying, hey, I have a message about finances. I have a message about opportunities. And next to that, we're pulling this Fool card, which talks all about the Aries energy that is happening right now. We got a new moon on Friday. We got planetary stuff happening this weekend. I am taking this card to mean, in addition to the question that you asked that we're going to discuss, watch out Friday, Saturday, Sunday for some sort of new opportunity, a whiff of a new opportunity that has to do with business. To your question about how are people going to conduct themselves, my friend, all of the cards that came out are reversed. And so right away, kind of like the vibe Adrian was picking up, the vibe is like, I don't know if these people are really going to conduct themselves. We have a reversed Chariot. The Chariot talks about transformations. It talks about choosing a different direction. Reversed is saying there's not going to necessarily be a transformation, or whatever transformations people have gone through, they're already done. So kind of like what is there is what's going to continue to be there. We are pulling a reversed Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is air energy, it's new ideas. So reversed is saying not new ideas, not new approaches, not new conversations. We have a reversed King of Wands. So a king is the person in charge, and wands is fire and action. Again, it's reversed, and so it's saying, I've already taken what action is going to be taken. I'm not going to be taking any further action. We are also pulling the reversed Emperor. This is the person who's a step above the king. It's the Emperor, and again, the card is reversed, and so this is, like, this is the manager, and then this is like the CEO, and they're both saying, I want nothing to do with that. And the final card that we have that we're pulling is a reversed High Priestess. And so this message says, don't try to use your intuition to figure out what these people are going to be doing and saying and thinking, because there's nothing there to see. So it's kind of like if you feel like you're trying to intuit the information and it just feels like you're sitting in a dark room, it's because there's nothing there to find.
Wow. Aviva, how did you feel about that? I would love to know. And then just to let everybody know, Christine sent the link. It's you can go to cgexcellencetraining.com and then just go to the blog page. So, and it's the blog called Love. And so check that out. It's
I'm going to throw out one more card here. Sorry.
okay. Sorry about that.
No, because I pulled out the angel deck also. And this is like an upright chariot. So this is talking to the journey that you are on, and it's kind of saying like the other people are not necessarily going to change and evolve, but you are, and that's the moment that you are in right now is the positive evolution. So um, you're going like this.
All right. Well, she's going to try to. She's not sure if we really hit straight on, so she's going to try to clear up the question and see if we can do it again. But so relationship questions, they're a little tricky with this, aren't they?
I mean, relationships are always tricky because
Yeah.
they are the site at which we do so much growing and so much teaching. But you
Yeah.
know, they're here for a reason. They're here for a season, and so you know, there are moments in relationships that feel a lot more connected and a lot more purposeful and a lot more productive, and then other times don't, and we kind of have to figure out, well, what does that mean? Does it mean that there's just like a lull for right now, or am I being told to exit?
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and that's what I always say because it, it's well, I don't know if it's a secret on this program, but this is my fifth marriage, and there's a reason for all the other four, and I was there for a reason, and I fulfilled my whatever duty or whatever soul contract I had, and I was done. And I knew when I was done. I knew it was time.
I feel that way about everyone I've ever dated, that there was something there for both of us, and it was there until it wasn't.
Yep. Yep. No hard feelings. No, we both entered into this, and in all but one case, I exited on my terms, and and yeah, but it's there's a reason for everything. I don't believe in coincidences.
Not anymore.
Mm-mm.
It
Nope.
is. It is kind of funny how that does change through adulthood. That when we're younger, you can't live without somebody, or you're gonna do this, and it's my life is ruined, and I can't. When you get a little bit older, you're like, well, it's fun while it lasted. Sometimes, other times it was kind of a drag. On to the next thing. So, um, but so I don't know. Relationships are just they're really one of those that you've just got to be so careful in them, and we're I think a lot of times, and I'm not saying that anybody's guilty of this, so that's not what I'm trying to
Is
say,
that your
but
disclaimer before I stab you in the middle of the night?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Before you have your friend come back and drop the spurs
Spur
on
on.
my head, yeah.
Okay.
So, but you know, I I think because we're in a situation where we have to have everything so fast, including relationships, we're not getting to know each other close enough a lot of times, and discovering who you are when you're already so deep into a relationship is that really kind of puts a strain on things. So, but yeah, that's really one of those things that it's really hard to talk about. That's why I respect Aviva, being able to talk to people in relationships, and being able to um, help them through things, because that's it. You don't know, like, the situation and what it's going to cause a lot of times. So
And it's hard to read because people have free will and they can change it at any moment. The cards will only show you, and even in mediumship, will only show you right now. That if you change your mind 10 minutes from now, that's going to change.
Exactly.
so did you have anything that you wanted to be read?
Oh, I'll always take a reading, but did you let her know about her last reading? And then, her last reading of you was that things are going to change this year. And this man, the stubborn ass he is, goes, I don't even want to go to the doctor. They're not going to do anything anyway. It's just not going to. I said, just go. That way you can at least say you went. And if they say nothing, then fine. He comes back with, my goodness, they believe that I'm hurt. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And surgery will happen within so many weeks after physical therapy. Oh, mm-hmm. Okay. So then remember that reading, then we can, after this, maybe most of the headaches will be gone and most of the pain will be gone and we can start weaning off pain pills. But therein, we have to find a doctor that is willing to actually do that.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, okay, you're off of all of them and I'm going to give you this drug and you have to take it the rest of your life. And, you know, that's no.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things that really concerns me about, I've seen in past situations where people give someone a drug to get off drugs, and I've never been able to understand that. Uh, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do in this situation because I understand that this is a tough addiction to go through. I've had to deal with the withdrawals when I'm out of the pain pills a day or two, and it's
bad.
It's flat out scary. I get sicker than a dog. I really do. And so I know this is going to be a little bit different. But I mean, I've been on pain pills now for probably pushing, oh no, we're probably pushing 30 years because of my back. I had my back problems prior to, to this.
Well,
and
compared to the pain you're in now, that back pain was nothing.
Oh no, yeah, yeah, it is kind of funny, and that was one of the things that I was able to tell the judge when I went in for my disability. He goes, "Well, didn't you have headaches before this?" And I looked at him and I said, "I thought I did. I didn't. I didn't." So, and that was one of the interesting things that this doctor was able to tell me is that they diagnosed me with migraines, and this is most likely due to the neck position, and it's not migraines. So they've been treating me for migraines, and it has nothing to do with migraines. It has to do with the neck. So see, this gentleman took and was able to answer me in a way that, and we talk about this all the time, not, you get frustrated when it feels like somebody's not talking or listening to you. And this guy actually listened to me, and he was saying, when you walk into a place and he looks at you and he goes, so you're in a lot of pain, aren't you? And you're like going, yeah. Yeah, 9 years I've been telling people, yeah, I'm in pain, and it was really amazing. And like I said, I don't know why I'm excited for surgery. I just think the thought of getting it fixed is exciting. So once again, please, we've got a little time left. If you have something you would like to have read, please put it in the chat. We would love to get you your reading. What would you like to be read, my dear?
The cards always talk for me, so I don't care. They know what I need to know.
Let's see. Okay, we got a couple that came out as we were talking. We are starting with a reversed King of Swords. I feel like this refers to Zach, and I feel like this is saying, Adrian, you're controlling the narrative for a moment. Let's talk about him in front of his face. It's really just, it's a King of Swords, and so it's acknowledging that Zach is a smart guy who is a take charge kind of person. But with regard to your silent inquiry, this is an area in which you should feel free to express your opinions about how things should go. And again, that Zach is probably going to be more of a listening mode.
So Zach is a good guy, but he's a royal pain in the ass, and somebody needs to take charge. Is
We
that
know
what you're
that.
saying?
We know that.
Well, I mean, yeah, listen, both of you are formidable personalities.
Oh yeah.
Like you both have strong enough personalities that they need to balance out. With
Oh
the
yeah.
wrong person, either one of you could trample someone,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
for different reasons, but it could happen. So this is just one of those, when you're with somebody who is up to your level, this is one of those moments where you have to trust and say, "Hey, you're up to the challenge of managing me."
Hmm.
Not everyone can, but you are the person I've chosen. So there's the trust scenario, but again, this is just kind of verifying, yes, Adrian, you're stepping into a more active role. Um, the Seven of Wands. This feels like some sort of visit with family or maybe with people that you haven't seen in a while. They're close people, and that's really the purpose of the visit. Hey, we haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? And whatever this is, I feel like over the next 3 or 4 months, you may have a couple different events where you're seeing people that you don't get a chance to see very often, and there is something that you get to kind of like brag about a little bit or show off a little bit. And this is just kind of acknowledging, like, yes, it's okay to talk to people about that thing. You've earned the right to kind of sit in the glow of people's opinions and congratulations and things like that.
Okay, so let's validate that right now. All the kids are going to be together in June,
There
and
you
they're all
go.
coming here. That never happens. They live in two different states. We live in a completely different one. And his brother's also coming back in July, and I redid the floor upstairs. And yeah, I'm excited to show him I redid that floor.
You should be. There is somebody who is going to. I'm assuming this is someone who's coming to the party. It's a King of Cups person, so this is an adult, and they are generally like a very warm, kind-hearted. Everyone likes this person, and we're pulling the Fool card, and the thought that I'm getting has more to do with like extension of family. They may be thinking about having a child, they may be thinking about getting a dog, but there's this sense that this person is like expanding the love and the warmth that they offer to some living creature or creatures who are like in a position to be taken care of. And
Justice
it's like
better
a
not be getting having a baby.
Well, the thing is that Justice is getting married. I mean,
um, so that's a possibility that's coming up. Um, we are pulling a reversed Nine of Swords, which is great because Nine of Swords talks about the type of anxiety that keeps us awake at night. This is just stress and overthinking, and it's reversed. And so it's saying a decrease in anxiety, potentially better sleep. You are pulling the Queen of Swords as the card representing you. And so this is saying lean into your intellectual strengths and your planning and organizing and noticing the details um, over this next 3 or 4 months. As you're having interactions with the family, this could be like, hey, Adrian comes in as advice person and sounds very logical and people pay attention. You're also pulling the Hanged Man, which talks about shifts in perspective. So, with those conversations, it's a two-way street. You have the opportunity to change some minds and shift the way some people are looking at things. But at the same time, those conversations are going to reveal some things that are going to shift how you have been perceiving situations. So, all in all, It is a learning experience. And the angel card that you are pulling is the Sun Archangel Uriel, and it talks about how happy outcomes, brand new ideas that lead to success, and having confidence in yourself. So you're in for a good time, sounds like.
Well, look at that. It's even got sunflowers on it.
Yeah, well, the whole premise behind all of this is going to be, for the last 10 years, me and one of the girls have always had fun drinking, and both of us have taken it a little too far. So in June, this is going to be the last time, and that's what I'm going to let them know. This is it. We're not doing this anymore, and Mom's going to AA. So how they take that, I don't know, but that's what's going to happen.
Congratulations on reaching that decision.
Well, if he can do the pain pills, I can do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're just going to do it, period.
It's one of those things, when there's a substance involved, and I certainly have gone through my cycles of using pain medications, using medical marijuana, off and on the things. Everything that we use for a reason, and sometimes we use something so often that we feel like it becomes part of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's our own perception, because like we can't get outside of our own heads.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this situation shows up in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's like when people start getting married and they start having kids, or whatever it is, people come to this moment and they say, hey, the party's over. I don't want to use as much of this substance. I don't want to drink as much. I want to like change my habits and build habits that are better for me. And there's this fear of like, are people still going to like me?
Mm-hmm.
Can I be funny if I haven't been drinking? Can I be cheerful if I haven't been smoking? Can I be, not a depressed, miserable Grinch if I haven't taken a pain pill? And what we realize in those situations is that people appreciate us for so much more
Yep.
than the limited self-views.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And in all reality, his is, I say if he can do it, I can do it. But in all reality, his was necessity. Mine was recreational that turned into, we're just going to do this every day now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, exactly what you said. Mine is at a point where, you know what, it was very useful for a little bit. Now it serves very little purpose because my body is used to it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's become to where I have to take so much, and it's just, and I just, I was doing really good with it for a while, but after a while, it just became, to where the body needed more and more and more. So we've got one more. Christine would like to take a peek. So we can take a peek for Christine, see what the cards say for her.
The peak from the universe.
Mm.
Okay. So the first card that we are pulling is a reversed Queen of Cups. This card has to do with you, and it has to do with the pause that you've taken. We have not discussed, the pause, but here's what I will say. This card is acknowledging that your baseline personality energy is this Queen of Cups energy. It's water, it's feeling, it flows. You flow into situations, you lift up the vibe. People feel like warm and fuzzy and happy after you have appeared. And this card being reversed is hinting, hey, maybe I haven't felt myself lately, and I don't want to necessarily go out into the world giving off a vibe that doesn't feel like the regular me. And we have some cards here that are saying it's not that you are no longer that person. It's just that you're being asked to focus in different directions and pull from different areas of strength. And so it's saying, yes, we love you. You're an amazing person. But right now, Page of Pentacles, focus on business, focus on the career, focus on the money and the money moves. And this applies to everybody, but I would say especially you, since we're having this conversation. There's a shift towards the end of the month. The planet Uranus is moving from Taurus to Gemini. And for a lot of people, that's going to create a shift in financial circumstances, or at least the opportunity for a shift. So if something doesn't seem like possible or realistic now, keep plugging away at that idea and be prepared to make some moves, because those opportunities may just come up. And connected to that, this Queen of Cups kind of like warm fuzzy energy is a little bit different than this person that has to be a little bit more detached and making the money move and saying, hey, this isn't personal, this is business, and we're going to draw a boundary there and keep it there. You're also pulling a Page of Swords. And so this talks about new ideas coming in, and that swords energy again has that like intellectual, analytical energy. And so that's again a different sort of vibe than what your baseline normally is. This is saying, hey, lean into your thinking strength and concentrate on that rather than navigating with the feelings. You've got the feelings part. We are also pulling the angel card from Archangel Metatron. It is the Dreamer. It's a 0, which is also corresponding to this moment of Aries energy, and it's saying a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. So I would say stay the course and watch out for some new opportunities. And if you have felt energetically off, don't worry about it. It's just for this moment.
Yeah. That's Christine. Please let us know what you think about that. We do have a friend who joined us, Lynn, and hopefully she's typing up her question. But yeah, Christine just replied, "Wow." So, but yes, Clarissa, please go on ahead and ask your question. Um, uh, Lynn is really good about sticking around. She would love to help you out. So. Clarissa, thank you very much for joining us over here on our channel. So we will stick around and help you with your question if you just want to ask. So um, hit spot on. Yeah, this is great. So once again, just helping out our friend Christine, please go to cgexcellencetraining.com and go and check out her blog called Love, and and maybe Lynn, you read it. Why don't you go on ahead and just give them a little preview on that while we're waiting for Clarissa to type in her question.
Oh gosh, I really did love that blog post. And like I said, it was just so cosmically timed. But the acronym that Christine came up with, letting others venture and evolve. I hope I got that correct. This concept of loving somebody means letting them go and letting them be on their journey and have their experience, and then like trusting the universe that they're on the right path and that it's going to have a positive outcome. Um, and there was a discussion in the blog about this mirror concept that everyone, and this was such this was so well timed. When I was doing my personal card for myself and pulling my card, the one that I pulled for myself was literally the mirror card, and about like, what is triggering you. And there was this discussion in Christine's blog about how everyone we meet is some sort of reflection of ourselves from a different angle with a slightly different flavor. And then how we react to other people really reveals how much love we have for ourselves and how well we are able to love all these different versions of ourselves as reflected in other people. And rather than trying to like fix and control people again, letting that love and that trust be the thing that guides people on their journey. I hope I'm paraphrasing that okay, Christine. Those were my takeaways, and again, I thought it was just excellent piece of writing.
Well, please, everybody go and check it out yourself. I know that there were a lot of people talking about it today, so I'm going to have to go and look at it. Clarissa, sorry, Christine. Look at that, perfection. Perfection. So looks like you got it right. But Clarissa asks, Clarissa, I just want you to know that my heart goes to you. Okay, it truly does. Can I get a general reading for what the next 6 months might look like? Is her question. She followed that up by saying, I don't know how specific you want. I got a lot going on for the next few months. So, would you like? Do you have any follow up questions you would like, or do you want to go with what she's given you?
I am going to dive right in because the cards have a way of just kind of throwing themselves out as people are showing up and asking questions. And I will also say that Clarissa popped in. We're at the end of the hour. And when I was, remember, Zach, we had that conversation a few hours ago, like, hey, how do you know which deck to pick? And I say, oh, I just ask which deck wants to come
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
And we were laughing earlier because we saw that the angel deck was going to come out. And at the top of the hour when we started, I've been shuffling my other deck, but the angel cards, I got a message and it said, pull 5 cards. There's going to be 5 readings. And so here we are, and I have 1 card left, and that belongs to Clarissa. And Clarissa, that card corresponds to Archangel Jophiel, and it's the star card, which in tarot is the card of hope. It is the card of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and being divinely guided and supported. So I want to start off with that as the tune for the next 6 months, because it sounds like you've been going through some rough stuff. And again, this is just kind of the universe popping out right away and saying, hey, we knew you were coming, here's your card, it's been waiting all this time. And the overall message is one of hope and healing and being supported. It says you are on the right path, so you're exactly where you need to be right now. You are also pulling, of the cards that I pulled out here, I pulled out 5 cards. 3 of them are 7s. And so that talks about something that is connected. First of all, you have an overturned or a reversed 7 of Swords. So swords is, thoughts, it's intellect. Sometimes swords can represent like negative thoughts, or negative judgments. Whatever this is, it's saying that you have come out of a period where either the thoughts or judgments or, situation has been oppressive. The 7 reversed has a vibe of something being stolen, something being taken away, and now you have to deal with how to move forward without something. So that's the 7. It's reversed, and it's saying that situation is over. How do we move forward? 7 of Cups is showing up. Cups are emotions, and the 7 of Cups is saying, hey, you have a lot of options. You have a lot of things that can make you happy, that can bring enjoyment and fulfillment. And so lean into this world of possibilities. Pick 1, pick 2, pick 3. It doesn't matter. You have a lot of areas to choose from. Also, the 7 of Cups often comes with a shift in social circles. because the Seven of Cups is somebody saying, hey, what kinds of things can I find to make me happy and bring me joy? And a lot of times that's like trying a new thing, going to a new place, and you put yourself in new social circumstances. And so I would say, if anything to focus on in the next 6 months, it's going to be your new social circumstances, meeting new people, and then you also have this Seven of Pentacles coming in. So we have potentially new job opportunities, not necessarily immediately. This card is what I'm picking up from this card is it's saying there's something that's going to show up as maybe a hobby or like a side gig first, and it's not going to feel that serious or like you need to put that much focus on it, but later on it might become something. This is like one of those, oh, I helped my friend with this one-off situation, and then years later I ended up doing that as part of my business. So just take the things as they come in and don't worry about how they work out. It's going to take some time. You are pulling a Three of Wands. And so, in the context of your progress, this being Aries season, and this definitely being a reference to Aries season, 3 out of 4. By the end of the month, you want to be sitting at a nice, stable 4. And this is saying you're 3/4 of the way there with all the action that you've taken, and you have some stability now. And so remember, we're going to have a shift toward the end of the month that's probably going to add towards some stability. But overall, I would say this is a positive reading in terms of the next 6 months. And again, you've got reason to be hopeful. When we see the star card, that's like the divine guidance coming in and saying, we've got your back.
Just looking at her responses and knowing about her situation, I'm knowing a little bit about her situation. I don't want to say that I know everything about her situation, but I just know that that's uplifting. And Carissa, again, please, 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 if you need an ear, if there's anything that we can do to help you continue on your path of healing, please feel free to reach out to us. But please tell us what you think about that reading, and I would invite you to join us again next month. Because Lynn joins us the third Wednesday of every month, not the third Thursday that I continuously like to tell people. So she said that she appreciates and she needs to hope and
Come back. That's what we're here for. Absolutely.
yes, come back and yeah. I Lynn, you're amazing. You you are truly, truly amazing. I love doing this show. I love having you as a partner. Again, please remember, you can get a personal reading from Lynn. And if you hire her to do readings for you, she's going to give us a portion of what you give her back. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to donate it to someone who has asked us for help, and you get to choose where that goes. So if you want, if you want to make a difference as you're making a difference in your own life, this is a great place to start. You can get a hold of Lynn by scanning the QR code above my shoulder. And she is a wonderful, wonderful giving partner. And simply by doing business with Lynn, you can make a difference in someone's life. So please contact her. Lynn, do you have anything else that you would like to say before we go on ahead and close down Lynnsday for another month?
I would actually. I mentioned before we have a lot of astrological stuff happening this week, and it's all clumping together in this Aries clump. This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, especially, the things that are going to be happening for us as a collective. We are getting a spotlight shown on what isn't working for us and where we've been kind of deluding ourselves. and where we should be focused instead. And that is immediately going to be followed by like a little bit of a heavy review of like, oh, this is where I really have to, buckle down and do this, the weight of responsibility. What do I really need to do, to accomplish my objectives? It's only going to last for a couple days, like maybe a week. And then again, toward the end of this month, we have a radical shift out of that energy. So, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you kind of get a case of the blahs thinking about, what you need to do for yourself, just remember it's temporary and you're going to get the energy that you need at the end of the month.
Yeah. I just know that you've made my day a lot better by being here. Um, uh, and thank you so much, Lynn, for your for Christine's personal reading. Um, and she loves your monthly YouTube readings. So make sure that Christine, you always join us. Christine, I'd love to maybe next month we can get you on and you can talk a little bit about your own personal uh, journey that you've been on, and maybe that can help people as well. Clarissa, if you would ever, Clarissa, sorry, if you would ever want to come on and talk about um, your journey. If you ever want to come on, if you think that there's something that you would like to share with people, I would always encourage you and appreciate anything that you would like to share with people. So, and I'm not saying this in any way to try to force you to come on here. Please take your time and live your life, and but just know that we do appreciate everything that you're going through, and again, our hearts are with you. So but Lynn, I do want to thank you so very much. uh, you are so wonderful. I mean, I love this show so much, and I have a lot of fun. And remember, Lynn's going to be back next week as we move to Aviva's show.
Yep.
And so we encourage you to join us next week at this time as we have on Aviva, and a little different, but a little the same, because there's a you're one of her model. um
One of her guinea pigs.
yeah, yeah, there you go. So but and then you've got the model student, Mr. Z, also going to be joining us. So um but yeah, like I said, Clarissa, if you ever want to come on and just come on and share whatever, we invite you. So just get a hold of Adrian, and I'd love to have you on. So, but Lynn, please enjoy yourself. Enjoy your journey next until next month. And well, I'll see you next week. But uh, thank you for everything.
You are very welcome, and thank you, Zach. It is always such a pleasure to be on this show and to read for people. And it is just so wonderful having a host who can navigate this space with such sensitivity and compassion and intelligence. I just really appreciate everything you do to make this show what it is. And I'm doing readings, but you are the one doing the outreach and getting in touch with the community and encouraging people to be here. And so you too, Zach, are an amazing, wonderful person doing wonderful things. So thank you for all of that and more.
Well, I greatly, greatly appreciate that. So we will talk to you in a week, but I look forward to it. Please, if there's anything that we can do to reach out, again, scan the QR code above me. Have a conversation with Lynn. She's a wonderful person. She would love to have a conversation with you. Have that virtual cup of coffee. Talk about all she does. If you're in the New York area and you are planning nuptials, she can help you there too.
Yes, I
So
can.
just to let you know. So, but Lynn, Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. And we will see you next week, but we will be back next month, the third Wednesday of the month for Lynnsday. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yep. Do me a favor and check the chat before you go out, okay? So, but thank you very much. We'll see you soon. So that was Lynnsday for the month, and again, we have a lot of fun with this, and it's just neat. It's neat to see the reaction from people. It's neat to have people on, and it's really exciting to see when stars line up and questions get answered. Just watching, just knowing what she read for me and my neck, and especially what she read for Adrian, and the way that went. Yeah, we're both very bullish people. That is, it's like rams butting heads quite often, but we don't butt heads because we fit perfectly together. We do have to sit there and kind of go, oh, every once in a while, but not near as much as you would think. So, hey, I want to end this show with a little 10-minute video, and I hope that you guys enjoy this. This is something that I'm bringing back because I want to engage more with you. And every morning we start by asking a question in a series called What You Got? Okay? And this is the question for today. And it's just, I go through all of the celebrations of the day, and I pull one up that matches one of our wonderful partners. And this is the question for today. Morning, and it's a great day to come together. Today we celebrate something important, something personal, and something that every one of us needs to think about long before we ever need it.
go?
And it's morning, and it's a great day to come together. Today we celebrate something important, something personal, and something that every one of us needs to think about long before we ever need it, and especially in the environment we're in right now. I'm not going to get into the bad part of it, but we know that right now, healthcare is something that is a very hot button topic, and it's something that's very, very important. And today is National Healthcare Decisions Day. This day reminds us that there may come a time when we cannot speak for ourselves, a time when decisions about our care need to be made, and the people around us need to know our wishes. Look, it's not about fear, it's not about preparation, or it's about preparation, it's about dignity. It's about making sure that your voice is heard, even when you cannot speak. We had a meeting with my two younger brothers and my parents, and we made family decisions when it came to my parents and what we were going to do with the home and their health care, and how we were going to make sure as a family that one of us boys were going to take over the payments of the house so mom and dad could enjoy their later years, and they could retire and stay in their home. And so I have taken on the mantle of taking care, and Adrian is the one who actually does a lot of the taking care of them. She is so good with them, and I'm so happy that she's here with me. I couldn't imagine other times in my life when we would have been able to do what we're doing. But Adrian has stepped up, and she has really made this, she's made this her family, and it's great to see, and wonderful to have an ally in such a way. National Healthcare Decisions Day encourages every patient, every caregiver, and every family to talk openly about the kind of care they want, the support they need, and the choices that matter the most. For my parents, it was being at home, making sure that they didn't have to retire in a home or in unfamiliar territory. Now, if there's a time when it just gets to be too much, we'll have to see what happens. But right now, even with a little bit of the health problems that we decide, we're still living up to this. We're going to be able to take care of a lot of things, but we're not experts. So when we make these decisions ahead of time, we protect ourselves. And more importantly, we protect the people who love us and we love. So our giving partner of the day is the Impact Health Sharing. Amen Jundoku. Okay. Right here is his QR code. You can go and you can talk to him. He is part of the Impact Health Sharing program. So if you contact Amen, he can help you get health care, one, but also prepare for future, what's going to go on in your life, what you are expecting, what you need to have happen. So they are a community-driven approach to healthcare costs built on transparency. Boy, wouldn't that be nice right now. Fairness and a shared responsibility. If you have ever felt overwhelmed by traditional healthcare systems, and I know you have, or if you want to explore a more compassionate, community-centered option, Impact Healthcare Sharing is worth a look. You can learn more by scanning his QR code above. He is part of the Community Pay It Forward Giving Partners. So if you do business with Amen, you get to donate to a passion of yours, someone who's asked us for help and touches your heart. So our question of the day: have you ever talked with your family about your healthcare wishes? If not, what's the one thing that you want them to know? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your words might help someone else start an important conversation. If you haven't started this conversation yet, the words that you put in there, somebody may have a suggestion on how you can start the story. So, as we just mentioned, we had a talk with my parents about what to do. And I've never been shy with my sons on what my preference is. I don't really have any want or need of burial. I take up enough space as being alive. I don't need to take up that much space when I'm gone. I plan on getting a urn made that really takes and speaks to who I am and speaks to my personality. I'm going to get an urn that just is etched that says "well pickled," and it's going to look like an old pickle jar. So, but the daily challenge is take 10 minutes of today to think about your healthcare wishes. Write down one thing that matters to you the most. Share it with someone you trust. A small step today can make a big difference tomorrow. Call on Amen and see how he can help. See what he can do to make this matter. So thank you for starting your morning with me. I actually do get to say morning because we're going to have this one out in the morning. Oh, the angels fly. Remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Folks, again, this is not a fun celebration, but it's an important celebration. This is probably the most important one that we've had so far because this really affects the futures and the happiness of people in the long run. So please love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. Make sure that we're always taking care of each other and take care of yourself. We've got more to come tomorrow, and we have the Saturday show right now in the bucket. So there will be a Saturday show. I plan on recording the Sunday show today, so hopefully we'll have the Sunday show today, and we can keep this going because I'm truly enjoying this series. Please remember, you can always get a hold of me by for my card or communitypayitforward.us. And of course, you can always email me at zach@communitypayitforward.us, zach@communitypayitforward.us. Right now, we are having a phone system issue, so do not try to call us because it will not be answered. So email is the only way that you can get a hold of us right now, zach@communitypayitforward.us. I am looking to switch carriers. I'm tired of exorbitant cost. And so we're trying to make sure that we've got the best of all things. And yeah, it is what it is. So call on Amen. Visit his page. See what you think. If you'd like to talk to him, if you'd like an introduction to him, simply reach out to me, Zach, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us. Reach out to me and say, hey, Zach, can you introduce me to Amen? And I'll say, you betcha, I sure can. Hey, everybody, thank you so very much. Please remember, keep talking. The words that you say could be the key to someone's happiness. You never know. You may say something today that a person you don't even know is alive. It could change their life. So please, never shut up, because silence has never helped anyone. My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward. Community, stop myself. Come Together Compass and the Pact Podcasting Networks. Please join us tonight at 8 p.m. East for Lynnsday. Free tarot readings from 8 p.m. East until 9-ish, 9:30, whatever. If we have more, we'll go longer. So Lynn Sobulski from Footnotes Tarot is joining us, and she would love for you to come in and join us. You put your question in the chat, and she reads the cards for you, and you get a free psychic reading. Lynn Sobulski is also one of our wonderful, 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 wonderful community giving partners. So please check her out by scanning this code. So we'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. East with Lynnsday. Once again, my name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, the Come Together Compass, and the Pact Podcasting Networks. Have a great day. I think I cussed. I said psychic networks, but she's not like a LA psychic network thing. The California Psychics or something like that. So, hey, folks, that's going to be it for today. I want to thank Lynn for taking part in this wonderful, wonderful program. I'm absolutely loving it. Christine, thank you for joining us. I also want to thank Alan for popping on, and Aviva for coming on and joining us. Clarissa, thank you for joining us. And then late in the show, we had a friend of mine, Joanne. Not Joanna, as I typed. I get the sloppy finger going, and it's like typing with kielbasa sausages. They just press keys. I don't do it on purpose. So besides that, I just, not bright sometimes. But I also want to thank my lovely wife, Adrienne, for joining us for a little bit. I enjoy that because this is the only show that her and I usually do together. So we've got to prepare for some chilly weather. And we just planted a whole bunch of stuff that, if not taken care of, it won't survive the chilly weather. And we don't want that. So please, as I said in that video, make sure you love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. Always take care of yourself, take care of others. Come and join the community. www.communitypayitforward.us. We've got room for you. We need your help to help others. Our mission is very simple. We want to help everyone, and we cannot do that without your support. So please come and join us, and we'll see you next week with Aviva's podcast.
Bring me home, out alone, you show me the way. You wanna hold the heart of Sunset Boulevard. Bring me here, 'cause it's not quite clear